You're the wind in my sails, you're the pull of the sea, you're the wish in the well, you're my faithful belief. If the whole wide world was offered to me, still you'd be all I need. You're the first of the year, a warm kiss in the cold. You're the whisper in my ear when I need it the most. If I was cast on an island and could only bring one thing, still you'd be all I need. All I need, I need. How do I say how much you really mean when I can't find no words to speak? Just know you're all I need. With a weight on your chest, I can feel it too. I'll take your worst and the best. I'll be there for you, like you're there for me, 'cause you are all I need. All I need, I need.
すぎる。さすがに面白い。いや、さすがにおもろいね。
Is such a simple word, and us is much more than you heard. Two little letters come together, and then loneliness is cured. Yeah. Us is something like a dream. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Hey, babe, I just wanna know what you think about me when the summer's over. Hey, yeah, it's been a blast. I still remember even after October. And when the winter falls, just think about me and I'll keep you warm. Though seasons have changed, I still remain with thoughts of you. And I'm just not the same, I admit, like autumn. I'm falling for you. Wait, I don't wanna go. Time goes flying when you're wrapped in the moment. One more night.
You've been down this road for far too long. He left your love behind, but still you keep on crawling back despite the pain inside. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy. Give me a chance to show that you can be. Well, open your eyes and you see the way I see. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy with me. Your tears, they say 1,000 words. I've heard them all before. The ones who love the most, my dear, are the ones left hurting more. He broke you down with no remorse. Now who will heal the bruise? The one you want in your heart is standing right in front of you. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy. Give me a chance to show that you can be. Well, open your eyes and you see the way I see. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy with me. You can always trust in me. I'll show you a life that he can't see. You become
You speak to me and say you'd have it any other way if you could. You speak to me and say lately there's been all this pain, and it's just a mess that you've made. Well, I wish I could take you in my arms and show you how lovely you really are. 'Cause on the other side of those walls, there's a place you can call home. And
In a world full of darkness and light, sorrow, sadness, and despair,
어?